I'll touch you in any way or manner that my professional judgment indicates.
And the part of Leonard McCoy will be played by Sean Connery. McCoy is giving the command crew a rundown on an alien people called the Capellans after an intel gathering mission. Oh, what the f*** is that? The hottest apparel from the Sesame Street lingerie store. Bones has been scoping out these Capellans for Starfleet because the Federation is interested in striking a mining deal with them. Starfleet wants to cut off any possible opportunity for the Klingons to obtain Capella 4's resources. With a Capellan's pugnacious temperament, the Enterprise crew has quite the challenge before them in gaining their cooperation. This is crazy fucking costumes. I don't know if I can make it through this one, man. As it turns out, the Klingons have already beat Starfleet to the punch and ingratiated themselves with the Capellan people. Kras, the Klingon emissary, is like, why are you being so mean to me? My people are so nice, and you Federation guys are just bullies. We didn't even do anything to you. Middle school flashbacks. Kras has already manipulated Maab, the leader of a faction of Capellans, into siding with him against Starfleet, but the overall leader, Akaar, is more inclined toward the Federation. A skirmish breaks out over Akaar's loyalists and Maab's followers. Maab kills Akaar and claims rulership over the Capellans. Maab orders the pregnant wife of Akaar to be put to death since she carries the rightful heir to Akaar's Holy shit! Is that Catwoman? Well, naturally, the good gentlemen of the Enterprise aren't going to sit idly by and let an innocent woman, not to mention a pregnant one at that, be slayed, so they defend her. Miss Kitka doesn't like that, since their touching her is considered incredibly disrespectful, and orders Maab and his men to kill Spock, Kirk, and Bones. Now how's that for gratitude? At that very moment, the Enterprise has to jet off to rescue a freighter that's come under attack by Kras's Klingon vessel, leaving the Triumvirate trapped. The Triumvirate manages to incapacitate their captors and offers to give Selena Kyle asylum on the Enterprise for her and her baby. Catwoman's like, I really don't want this f***ing baby, but I guess I do want to live, so fine. They climb into the mountains, welcome back to the Vasquez Rocks, and are quickly pursued by Capellan sentries. While Kirk and Spock deal with their assailants, Bones tries to treat Catwoman, who slaps Bones every time he touches her. Instead of, I don't know, respecting his patient's consent, Bones slaps her back.
Well, there's no right way to hit a woman.
While that's going on, Kirk and Spock rig a rock slide to get rid of the villagers coming after them. They killed those people. Jim and Spock are murderers now. Back on the Enterprise, the ship arrives at the location of the freighter's distress signal to find nothing. Not even ship debris. Scotty quickly susses out that this has been a Klingon ploy to lure the Enterprise away from Capella. They turn around and hurry back to the planet. The Triumvirate has managed to get Catwoman into a cave just in time for her to go into labor. Through some confusion, Catwoman gets it in her head that McCoy is claiming the child as his own.
Bring our child.
Our child?
Then later on, as McCoy sleeps, Catwoman sneaks away, leaving Bones with the kid. I'm sorry, she would not be moving like that right after giving birth. Catwoman gives herself over to the Capellans, telling them that her child is dead. Kirk and Spock shoot at them from behind the rocks with cobbled-together bows and arrows. When Maab sees Kras shooting his fellow tribesmen, he realizes he's made a terrible mistake, and sacrifices himself so the Klingon can be stopped. Catwoman's baby is now the rightful leader of the Capellans, and Catwoman steps up as his regent, having decided that she actually does want to be a mom after all, and the Enterprise crew walks away with the mining contract. The episode's name, Friday's Child, is a reference to an old nursery rhyme. The commonly known version today states that Wednesday's child is full of woe, but in 1967 it was Friday's child that was considered full of woe. Incidentally, yours truly was born on a Sunday. And the child born on the Sabbath day is bonny and blithe, good and gay. Despite being another Fontana, this episode is not good, but it is oddly hilarious. To its credit, it does have some of the best Triumvirate moments.
I shouldn't have chewed you out. I'm sorry.
I understand.
Only a very slight chance it would work.
Well, if you don't think we can, maybe we shouldn't try.
Captain, I didn't say that exactly.
Strange hand. Very soft.
The child was named Leonard James Akaar.
What do you think, Spock?
I think you're both going to be insufferably pleased with yourselves for at least a month. Sir.
If there's one thing DC Fontana excelled at, it was writing Kirk, Spock, Bones interactions. Aline reminds me of Eve from Mud's Women in that she's sort of a deconstruction of sexist tropes. She's from a culture that only sees women as valuable as baby makers and homemakers, and she's been forced to marry this old man in power and bear his child that she super does not want, but then she Cersei Lannisters her way into power like a boss. Not bad.
When you play the Game of Thrones, you win, or you die.
As you may know, I'm not a fan of the woman doesn't want to be a mother, but then she's forced into it, and the magic cosmic bond between mother and child is just so powerful that she changes completely, and now she does want to be a mom trope. And it's very much present here. DC Fontana wanted to write a story about a woman who doesn't want children. Okay, cool. But then Elian has the kid and she's like, living my best #boy mom life. I'm not saying that women can't change their minds, but it just feels like having your cake and eating it too. It only ends up reinforcing this idea that all women secretly do want to be mothers, no matter what they say. Apparently in the original script, Elian sacrificed her life for the baby, but it was actually Gene Roddenberry who was like, dial it back a bit. Other than that, Fontana's script was mostly unchanged. And yeah, that's really all I have to say. See you next time.
I don't care if Monday's black, Tuesday, Wednesday, hard to tell.